Good morning and welcome back to the show. Evan Bray is, I'm happy to be here, happy to be with you, and happy to have the conversation we're about to have. I was at a community event probably about 5-6 months ago. We were talking about cancer, various forms of cancer. There was about 150 people there, and one of the speakers said, raise your hand if you have been affected personally, whether it be family member or friend affected by breast cancer. I was shocked at, literally everybody in the room put their hand up. Breast cancer is one of the, personally lost a friend. I have many people in my life that were diagnosed, treated, and are now back living their lives again, but they went through that scare of diagnosis with breast cancer, which is why I'm happy to have the conversation that we are today. Saskatchewan lowering the age for breast cancer mammogram screenings to 43. In fact, we have plans to lower it further to 40 within the next 6 months. Articles and posts about the drop shared on social media, lots of positive reaction, but there's stuff out there that I think we need to talk about. Jennie Dale, who is the founder and president of Dense Breasts Canada, quickly shared some of the comments with her colleagues and said, she's worried about some misinformation that sometimes gets circulated online. So we've got a couple of important conversations to have this morning on the topic of breast cancer screening. And we start with Jennie Dale, who joins us. She is the founder and president of Dense Breasts Canada. And Jennie, I'm happy to have you on the program. Thanks for taking the call.
Thank you. Thank you, Evan.
So Saskatchewan's lowered the age for breast cancer screening, as I said. Talk about why this is an important and positive step.
Oh, it's critically important. Breast cancer incidence is rising in the 40s. It's rising in the 20s and 30s as well, unfortunately. But in the 40s, breast cancer can be much more aggressive. 1 in 6 cancer cases happens in the 40s. Cancers go faster. They're fueled by ovarian hormones. And finding cancer early, breast cancer early, is everything. It means you have a better chance of living longer. It means you have a better chance at avoiding chemotherapy. You have a better chance of avoiding mastectomy. So we know from many studies that the 5-year survival rate, if you find cancer at stage 1, your 5-year survival is about 99% with breast cancer. But if you find it at stage 4, it drops to about 31%. So finding breast cancer early, it's imperative. And we also know that if you have a mammogram, you're 40% less likely to die of breast cancer than women who don't have a mammogram. So this opportunity to screen earlier and to screen at 40 it's critical.
Those are very compelling numbers for sure. We're seeing a lot, and I alluded to this earlier, we're seeing a lot of misinformation online about mammograms, especially around radiation. What is the truth that women need to know, Jennie?
Well, this misinformation about radiation is extremely dangerous because the misinformation is that radiation exposes women, mammograms expose women to a high level of radiation, and that is wrong. So I have to throw some numbers out at you about this. But a mammogram exposes a woman to about 0.4 millisieverts. A chest x-ray would be 0.1. A CAT scan would be 7. So radiation exposure is there, but it's cumulative. So you need at least 100 millisieverts to increase cancer risk. And that would mean having 250 mammograms all at once. So you can see that that's preposterous. So the risk of radiation is really insignificant, and people have to realize that there's radiation all around us. We get radiation just by living. It's equivalent, a mammogram is equivalent to about 2 months of just natural environmental exposure, and about 3 weeks if you live at high elevation like in Denver. So the risk is insignificant, but the potential for the benefit for survival and reduced suffering is huge. So let's put this dangerous misinformation to rest.
Jennie Dale is my guest, the founder and president of Dense Breasts Canada. The website, by the way, densebreastcanada.ca. I was on the website yesterday. Talk about why you founded this organization.
Founded this organization 10 years ago because women were not giving information about their breast health, and they were not being told if they had dense breasts. And as we began, we found out that there were many things women were not being given information about, and we were not getting the best screening that we could get here in Canada. So we've been advocating province by province for better screening, and that means in Saskatchewan, that would mean we need screening at 40. That would mean we need additional screening for women with dense breasts. That would mean we need the best technology, 3D mammography, AI being used. That would mean we need screening, across the country for women over 74. So there are many, many issues when it comes to breast cancer screening, and where you live should not make a difference whether breast cancer is found early. And unfortunately, in Canada, it does. And that's why we're advocating provincially and federally to get the best possible breast cancer screening for women, of all ages, all ethnicities.
Jennie Dale is my guest. We are talking about breast cancer screening. The age in Saskatchewan has been lowered when it comes to mammogram screenings to 43, plans to lower it to 40. Even with this change, I know you've said more needs to be done. What is missing? What needs to be added on to this process to make it truly effective for women?
Well, it's not enough to just have a policy change. You have to get women to go, and the numbers of women that are going for mammograms in Saskatchewan is too low. And so without awareness, without putting money behind this change and raising awareness and explaining to women how they can benefit from going for a mammogram, then it's not going to be effective. So that's, we need to see that. We need to see an increase also in the technologists that are hired so that wait times are reduced. We need to see all women in Saskatchewan told their breast density. We need to see a high-risk program in Saskatchewan. But primarily, we need a huge influx of awareness, and we need to have invite letters sent to women. Right now, women are not being invited at 43, and they won't be invited at 40. So they have to know, they have to find out on their own through word of mouth or listening to your show, or it's not right. Women need an invite letter at 40 just as they used to get it at 50.
So almost the like the colorectal cancer model, there's models out there where this is done. We just need to make sure we can replicate that at this younger age.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we need as many women as possible to go. And right now you had about under 1,000 women in their 40s attending for mammograms in 2025, and it's just not sufficient. So we've got to get, the word out. We've got to get the staff out. There are things that need to be done.
Jennie, I've appreciated this chat. I appreciate your advocacy on this matter, and we appreciate you joining the show today. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Jennie Dale, by the way, if you want to go to the website, it's densebreastcanada.ca, the founder and president of that organization, but a great advocate, and chiming in on some of the recent changes that have been made in our province when it comes to breast cancer screening in our province. The age has been lowered. There's some mobile units that I know. We will talk about this with the Minister of Justice. We have him joining us at 11 o'clock. We'll take a break. When we come back, we will be joined by a breast cancer survivor from our province and her reaction and the importance of getting these screenings done as early as possible when we return here on 650 CKOM and 980 CJME.